So I wanted to give you a hint on homework to help you out, and I'll just kind of show you how this works. So I'm going to open up a couple documents here that I think will be helpful. That'll just sort of get us started. So there we go. So that's off to the side. So here's the deal. I told you determine the acceleration due to gravity on each of the planets if you go to this link. So let me show you how this works. So for example, here, we're going to pause it. I'm just going to reset. So first of all, let me just, when you actually go into the, and I'm just going to reload this so you kind of see it from scratch. So when you go into this PhET simulation, so we're on Earth, for example, and one of the things we want to be able to do is actually use the time to figure out the acceleration due to gravity on a planet. Let me explain further. When you have the period of a pendulum, it's given by 2 pi times L divided by G. Well, L is the length of this whole rope here. And G is the acceleration due to gravity on that planet. So for example, for Earth, what we can do is the following. I'll go here. I'm going to use the timer. So click on the timer. And then I'm going to give this just a small little displacement. Let's say 10 degrees. I'm going to let it go. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the timer. It's going to tell me how long one period takes. And it tells me that it takes 2.8422 seconds to cover one period. Now I can go here. My goal is to calculate G. I'm told the period is 2.8422 seconds. The length of the pendulum is given here as 2 meters. So now I can go ahead and solve. 2.8422 equals 2 pi times 2.00 divided by G. And I can actually go ahead, do the math to isolate G. So continuing here, let me just copy all this math so that I can go ahead and do that. Right up there. So we're going to have 2.8422 divided by 2 pi equals the square root of 2 over G. I'm just getting rid of those zeros. Now let's square both sides. So that'll be 2.8422 squared over 4 pi squared equals 2 over G. We'll do a bit of algebra here. You gotta follow this algebra. If you can't, you need to write it out to get to where I get you. So this is going to be G over 2 equals 4 pi squared over 2.8422 quantity squared. We'll multiply both sides by 2. And so now, when I actually solve for G, I can put this in my calculator, and the number that I get is going to be, I'm going to round this to 1 decimal point. That's 9.77, which rounds to 9.8 meters per second squared. So I'm going to put this hint on Haiku along with some notes, and I'll send you all a text so that you can actually get this, and hopefully this helps you with the homework. All right?